2 in the morning. You're standing on the penthouse balcony, methodically flicking ash from a Cuban cigar, down onto the heads of drunk tourists who still believe tonight's the night they finally beat the house. Spoiler, it's not. This is your casino. You know the math better than they know their own wives. And right now, behind you in your office, 3 guys from the Cartel are sitting on your couch, drinking your collector's Macallan, coat still on, politely waiting for their 10 million. Cash, dirty, before sunrise. If the money isn't there by dawn, the view from this balcony is the last thing you'll ever see. The funniest part? You're not thinking about the bullet. You're thinking about what their boots are doing to your $100,000 Persian rug. Stop. Let's rewind. How you die isn't the interesting part. How you ended up in this chair. That's the story. Level 1. 5 years ago, you're nobody. Literally, nobody. Bouncer, debt collector, cheap muscle for the kind of work nobody puts on a resume. Rain hammers the cracked asphalt of the service parking lot while you explain to some guy that yes, gambling is fun, but debts still need to get paid. $450. That's what a man's fingers are worth tonight. You're not angry. Anger is a luxury. You can't afford it. You've got a job. Your jacket smells like rain, cigarettes, and a complete absence of future. You sleep on a mattress on the floor and drink instant coffee out of a plastic cup. The dream, clearly. A crumpled envelope lands on the manager's desk. He picks it up without looking at you. To this system, you're a function. A replaceable part they'll swap out the second they find someone cheaper. Then, one night, you're posted at the entrance, and you notice something. The guy at the roulette table is betting too smart. He's not playing, he's working. You walk over to the pit boss and whisper one sentence. Security quietly walks the man out. The casino just didn't lose $200,000. The next morning, you're called into the office. $1,000 and a cheap blazer. Welcome to the floor. You're the new pit boss. The elevator just started moving. Hold on. Level 2. You start thinking you're climbing. That's the first of many mistakes. You watch the dealers, smile at the VIP clients like you actually enjoy their company, and learn to tell an honest gambler from someone trying to rob you blind. The coffee's better now. Actual drip coffee. Sleep's down to 6 hours because the casino never closes, and neither do you. Then comes your first real test. A dealer's running a skim with a player. Clean little scheme. You're almost impressed. Almost. You don't call security. You handle it quietly, in the back. The money goes back in the drop box. The dealer disappears without a word. Management loves people who take out the trash without making noise. First time you do something dirty, they call it initiative. Congratulations. Another year, and you're sitting in the floor director's office. Rolex on the wrist, personal gift from the GM. Custom suit, private secretary. Best quarterly numbers in the property's history. You think, this is it. I built this. I'm part of the machine. Correct. You are part of the machine. You just misunderstood your role. You're not the mechanic. You're the part. One night, in the vault, you see something you were never supposed to see. The surveillance cameras go dark for a scheduled 10-minute maintenance window. 10 minutes of blindness. And in those 10 minutes, a group of men are methodically feeding stacks of filthy street cash, drug money, blood money, straight into the casino's cash drawers, mixing it with clean house revenue. The play is simple. The dirty money gets lost at the tables through fake players and comes back out the other side as a legitimate casino check. Your casino isn't a casino. It's a laundromat. And you just figured out whose clothes it's washing. You want to quit in the morning. Write a resignation letter. Drive to Phoenix. Get a dog. Live a normal life. Cute idea. But in the morning, the GM is found in the trunk of his own car. Right there in the VIP parking lot. One bullet. Back of the head. Position available. Level 3. They call you down to the hotel basement. Not for an interview. For the reading of a verdict. Wrapped in the language of a business opportunity. Polite men with no names explain that the casino is now yours. You're the owner, CEO, the public face, A clean window display for a very dirty store. They show you a cap table where your steak looks solid, right up until you realize every other line belongs to people who just made you an offer you can't refuse. Literally. You drink a double espresso now. Your personal barista makes it. It tastes like ash. You're 35. You have everything. And every single inch of your skin knows that none of it belongs to you. You trade the Rolex for a Patek Philippe. Upgrade from an apartment to the penthouse. Sleep stops being measured in hours. It becomes gaps between phone calls and cold sweats. The cartel is scaling up. The liquidity is buckling. And then one morning, men in cheap gray suits walk through the front doors of your spotless operation. FBI. They don't come with guns. They come with folders. Full compliance audit. 3 years of financials. Accounts frozen. Servers seized. Right in front of your VIP guests, who came here to lose money, not watch a federal raid. That same day, the cartel sends its 3 guys. The one sitting in your office right now. They place a gun on the table. No threats, just a prop to set the mood. 24 hours. Unfreeze the accounts. You know what happens if you don't. Meanwhile, the FBI sits you in a cold room and lays out 2 options. Option A, 20 years for federal money laundering. Option B, everything they want to know. You're boxed in between people who can kill you and people who can cage you. Both sides need you, but not for long. Level 4. You spend the night running the numbers. The cartel's a delay. They'll take the money and clean up the witness anyway. The FBI is the only card that beats the hand. You do what any smart man in your position would do. You give them everything. Greasy diner, 3 in the morning, rain. The coffee is terrible. But at this point, you're used to it. You slide a small black flash drive across the table to the agent. Everything's on it. Transactions, names, offshore accounts, server passwords, the full money laundering operation, including every ghost player in the network. You're not betraying your people. You never had people. You're just moving first. 48 hours later, the raid. You stand on the balcony and watch the black SUVs seal off the building from below. The 3 guys in the coats come out of the lobby face down on the concrete. You take a sip of whiskey. Good whiskey. Yours. Nobody's taking it. Courtroom. You're the star witness for the prosecution. Face like stone. Full immunity. The cartel gets life. Federal prosecutors shake your hand and call you a hero. You shake back and smile. The system loves people who flip. Officially, it's called cooperation with law enforcement. In other circles, it has a different name. But those circles are all in handcuffs right now. Game over. 1 year later. The casino is yours. Legally, actually. On paper, yours. You picked up the seized assets at auction for pennies because nobody else wants a building with that kind of history. You did. Clean credit score, immaculate paper trail. The financial press calls you a visionary. The man who personally cleaned up the industry. You give interviews. You smile on magazine covers. You are the legend of Vegas, the self-made man who took on organized crime and won. You, the guy who was breaking fingers in a parking lot for $450. Every evening, before you get into the armored limo, you reach into your jacket pocket and pull out a small mirror on a telescoping rod, and you check under the car, methodically, professionally. Like it's just another part of a successful man's routine, right up there with the morning green juice and the meditation app. Your driver stopped looking a long time ago. You won. For real this time. The casino's yours. The money's yours. The reputation is untouchable. You just have a new job now. Making it to tomorrow. Did you make the right call? Or did you just choose a prison with a better view?